Hi, this is Nestor Medina, and this video is part of a class of psychology of addiction, and we're going to be trying to analyze a little bit of the life of Doyle Melton, this lady who was a bulimic person, an alcoholic, and a drug user for many, many years. Since the age of 8 years old, she was exposed to the pressure and of other girls, and she felt like she was a loser, like she was a person not accepted, integrated to a group. So she started what she calls using capes. Capes is a way of protecting. Many of us have different ways of cape, maybe pride, capes of attitudes, capes of reactions. Is a way that we as a human being normally trying to protect when we don't feel comfortable around people or around things that are not what we want. So Glenn Doyle, unfortunately, she was using different type of capes, and some of those capes was the pretending and the addictions. And as a young person, as a young female, this guide her life into a way that we can declare it at this moment, just from this point of view, that she was acting to the pressure of the social pressure. So one of the theories in psychology is that social learning theory, which we can apply it on this moment because she was reacting to the social pressure of people around her, friends in school and all that, people who were consuming drugs and alcohol too. So she was a result of the social part. That's one of the things. This is not all, but that was one of the maybe what ignite what she became later on completely in life. She was very sensitive since a young age, coming from a family that was pretty well, a family who treated her really, really good. She was not a girl who was abused or by family in any possible way, but unfortunately, she was exposed to type of people that influence her and the attitude of people and lead her to start consuming and using drugs. At the age of 18, unfortunately, she had her first experience of injecting drugs through her veins or heroin, and that first vein puncture started another new level of drug addiction in her life. She was sent to a mental hospital to make her recognize and realize, or as we can classify it, to be out of the negation of her addiction. During that time, there was very productive in a way, but like anybody else, she was okay for a couple of times, for a couple of years. She was doing good, but unfortunately, she started again using drugs, and she was able to go back to her addiction. It's very interesting because she mentioned something very, very interesting. I want to read it. Everybody was worthy, and capes were out around me all the time. People showed their scars, and one of the things that many addict people confront is that they feel segregated from people. They don't feel included. They don't feel that they're received. So if we see the life of Glenn Doyle Melton, she was the same. She felt rejected. She was not part of a group, social again. But I want to put more emphasis on this now. Most of what she did, even when there was a pressure or a social learning or pressure, it all comes to a point that she learned is a cognitive behavior She learned something that she started doing it. And even that there was a social pressure, it was her decision to start using drugs or eating out of order and developing the bulimic situation, the alcoholic and the drugs. It's very interesting that in a moment of life, she did a pregnancy test and realized that she was going to have a baby. And that situation kind of confront her and challenge her, and she react to all the behaviors in the past, and now she's reacting to transitioning to a new type of behavior, a positive behavior. Instead of doing an abortion, she decided to keep the baby, and she decided to stop using drugs and start living and changing her life. So we can see in here the theory of cognitive behavior, where you learn something new to eliminate something negative that you learned in the past. I think that the most important thing in the life of this young woman was that she learned how to deal with the withdrawal when she was coming out of drug, learn how to deal with every single day the scars, the anxiety, the feelings that she still have. This is not gone, but she learned. So she was able to apply cognitive behavior. She was able to apply it in a way that was able to make her a new person. Today, this young woman have 3 kids, a husband, and a couple of dogs too, which is nice. And she is a person who is helping other people, changing life. There's something very important she mentioned is peace, dignity, and friendship. And that is crucial in life. Life is brutal, beautiful. But when you have peace, dignity, and friendship, everything is possible and you can change. When you learn